located just outside the doors at the north side of the gym, right next to the cafeteria. Also, restrooms are located outside the doors on the north side of the gym, with the women's on the left and the men's restroom on the right as you exit.
Hello and welcome to the Wes-Del Sports Network. We're glad to be back for another season. I am Coach McLaughlin up here in the nest, I guess we would say. I don't even know what we call it up here, all the way up top. I'm joined again this season by former head coach and Hall of Famer in several different Hall of Fames, Biff Wilson. Coach Wilson, great to be back for another year, and it's just like we talked about last year, right into the MEC when you come to a Wes-Del volleyball game, and no different tonight, which it's that rival and a big rival and a fun game right across the county line here for down the county line, I guess I should say, in Daleville.
Yeah, there's no time to sit back and get acclimated to a new season. It's like, you know, at a different level, but it's like Ohio State, Michigan, first game of the year, and two schools that respect each other but don't like each other on the court, on the field, wherever you're playing each other, and then, you know, they'll go out and have coffee afterwards, but you just want to play hard and win. So it's a good way to start the season for sure.
Yeah, it throws you right into it, and the atmosphere seems to be pretty good. It was great for the JV game, and the student section was nice and loud, so we're hoping that both teams will feel that energy, and we'll see some really good volleyball tonight. Yep. Another season for Wes-Del under Coach Kayla Stanley, second year. She is coming off of, you know, that first year is always tough. You're putting in your whole system, your program, and learning how to, along with all the other things that come along with coaching. But she does have a lot of girls returning, which is a good thing.
It is a good thing, and you want, you know, if you're looking from year to year, the fact that the roster's gotten bigger is a really good thing, and bigger in the younger age groups. This is, well, I was talking to one of the players the other day, and I said, you know, for the third year in a row, we're looking at the team going, wow, it's a young team. Yeah. And it really is. There are 12 sophomores on this roster, 7 of them on the varsity roster, in addition to 6 freshmen on the roster, 1 of them on the varsity roster, and then only 2 seniors. Significant people, but at the same time, just not big numbers. So, you know, your numbers are in the younger groups, and while you're working hard this year to make the best of it, you still kind of think, okay, the future is looking good. So, a lot of players on this roster for sure, and just watching them warm up out here, they look enthusiastic, they get after it, and I think we're going to see a pretty good match tonight.
Flip side, Daleville lost quite a few girls. They are young themselves and playing without one of their better players for a significant amount of the time, it sounds like this year. So obviously first game of the year, it's one of those where you don't really know. You kind of know because they're in the county and you know a little bit about them, but you don't really know what you're going to see. But they do return a few players. They
do, and you don't know what you're going to see. I was looking at their numbers from last year, and here's what I noticed. They lost the bulk of their offense. They lost the bulk of their defense. They lost half of their setters in a 6-2 program. They lost the bulk of their service aces and 2 out of their 3 primary serve-receive passers. And then they have an injury with Maddie Reese, and who, when I say bulk, she was usually the player that is back. Yeah. That isn't the bulk. And but at the same time, you just don't know because you don't know how players have gotten better in the off season. Did they play club? Did they train in other sports and just become better athletes? You're just not sure. So once again, they have 5 seniors, which shows they have experience, more experience than Wes-Del does when it comes to longevity. I'm expecting a pretty good match. I'm really anxious to see what both teams have to offer.
I think so too, and we'll get a chance to talk about both teams a little more as we go through the season, through tonight's match. But it's exciting to get the season started. It's always fun to get that first game, and it's really fun when it's at home. Even more fun when it's a conference game, and then we'll ramp it up a little bit with your biggest rival of the year coming in on the first game of the year. So that's what we have here. We've got Wes-Del versus Daleville, and it starts this way every year, at least for Wes-Del it does, and we're going to get it started in just a second. We are happy that you're with us here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Just like we always do, we'll take a second here to pause and honor America with the national anthem. Then we'll join you back here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Well, the band sounds great already.
You know,
Mid-season
I don't know
form.
that I've heard him sound better. We've got a heck of a crowd over there across the way, too, with the boys.
So big that they've had to put up some retaining gates there to keep them back. I think. Or maybe that's the new thing. It's probably not a bad idea, especially in volleyball. A lot of the officials will come over and tell you can't be down on the floor. It just kind of depends on the official, but
right.
We'll see how it goes. The starters being announced here for the Daleville Broncos. Well, there you go. There's your starting lineups, and as we all know from watching the volleyball, it may start that way, and there'll be a lot of substitutions in between.
Yeah.
But it's always kind of nice to get those starting lineups going and getting ready for the season. Like we said, MEC matchup here. For those of you that aren't familiar, that's the conference that both of them are in, and it's always an interesting way to start the season. We're jumping right into conference, but you better be ready to play. It's kind of like you said, Coach, early in the year. No time to figure it out. You've got to get out there and play and be ready to try to steal one early in the year and get yourself at the top of the conference ranking.
You know, I'm always kind of fascinated by the T-shirt toss there at the beginning with the lineup. You know, you'll have some players going over and handing the T-shirt to someone. Do they do it again next game? And then Layla Carmichael, I don't know if this was a message, if a shot across the bow of the Broncos, her T-shirt went over to the Daleville bench.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now she's not, you know, she doesn't seem to be that kind of in-your-face player. But, I think she was. I am the Libra.
I love it.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit of a feeling out period for both teams. It always is early in the year, but I think it's one of the things that kind of is going to be fun to watch is when you know that your best player is not going to play for a while, like Daleville.
Right.
They've practiced with us, so they kind of know where they're going to go. Wes-Del is going to have to adjust and see, okay, now this is what they're doing now. We would have known what the plan was if Maddie was playing. Now we kind of got to figure out, hey, who's going to be their go-to?
It's almost like when your quarterback gets hurt in practice or the opposing teams, and you've worked against that plan all week, and suddenly it just isn't happening. I'll tell you something I've noticed, and just after this first serve, with the JV game, Warriors' serve game is strong this year.
Good. Natalie Leonard able to get us started there and sit back over by Joy Tony. Daleville on the attack now. I'll send it over. Pushed over on 3. Kept alive by Daleville. Outside again, another opportunity for Gabby Rector. Layla, nice job keeping the ball up. Van Durr, one of the seniors getting a chance. And that one finds the floor. And this looks like a game where you're going to have to just be scrappy. Both teams keep that ball alive and give yourself a chance on the other side.
I think so. And when you start out that way, you go, okay, there's one. Now you only need 24 more. Holy Toledo.
Gabby's going to get another swing. On the back row, Joy.
I really like that. I think that's got to be a big part of this Warrior team.
I do too.
The back row coming up.
Yeah, I agree. And anytime that we can get Joy involved and get a good swing on a ball, usually good things are going to happen for Wes-Del.
We are, as it looks, and as you look at the roster, as usual, a little bit undersized in the front row. And we have a lefty up there. That's another unusual thing for Wes-Del Volleyball.
I will say that doesn't look like, at least from here, that Daleville's got a ton of size up there either. So
no, I don't think they do.
No heights listed.
Again, their size is wearing a boot on the bench.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate. It really is.
There's a nice swing from Joy. Yeah, we got to spend some time talking to Maddie before the game. She's such a nice girl. She and her sister kind of ruined it for me because I always liked to hate Daleville so much, and then I got to know them and their family, and they were so nice and enjoyed them that I just couldn't look at it the same way. But I got a chance to talk to her. We'll talk about that. And a nice swing there from Cora. Nice go. And she's excited about that. Nice to see her get off to a good start. And a 4-2 lead early here for Wes-Del. Van Durr back to serve. Over and out of bounds. They found the right spot. She just pushed it a little too far.
You always wonder when, as a coach, you see their setter do that, not put it out of bounds, but just go up and shove it over, and you're like, okay, is she seeing a hole in our defense? Is she losing confidence in her offense? You hope that's what it is. But
right.
If it lands on the floor untouched, you know which one it was. Nice set.
Both teams able to keep it alive here. That was in the net. Good call there by the up official.
Yeah, and I think what he really called was a center line violation there.
Okay.
At least that's what his signal was.
On the attack here, going outside to Joy. Hit the antenna that time. Pushed a little bit too far outside.
And you might wonder why do we have Joy on the right side and we have a lefty on the left side with Gabby, and I like it. Gabby can swing well from over there, and to have Joy over here on the right side where some teams just don't defend very well, I think it's a great option.
Daleville able to run off a couple points here and get themselves right back in at 6-4. Wes-Del with the lead. Again, Daleville probably trying to figure out a little bit on the go here. Some young players trying to navigate this season. Back row swing from Joy. Cora's had a nice start.
Cora is strong in the middle right now. And I thought coming into this, the middle was going to be a question mark for the Warriors. But so far, middle play, especially by Cora, has been pretty good.
And now we're going to see probably our tallest player, Nora Kagi, a freshman at 5'11", to come in and play that middle spot.
She's actually going to come all the way to the right.
I'm sorry, she's going to play the right.
Which is a great spot for her, especially for a freshman. Without a lot of experience, you don't have to move a lot, get up and block. Blocking three right there, too.
There you go, yeah. Again, Wes-Del playing with a lot of energy and right now look like the more aggressive team. Wesley Gurr serves. Save there by Anthony. Joy going to get a nice swing from the outside. Just caught the taper. That was going to go to the back corner.
And she had so much torque on that top spin that it just drove the ball over the net.
Okay, give another chance. I'd keep giving her chances. On the backside this time. Nice swing by Antrim and good defense by Daleville.
Whoa.
Nice.
Walk that dog. Oh, put it right back on the net. Stay out. Nice job there by Presley not going under the net.
Yes, she has it. Barely didn't, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Pushed to the back row on two. Long point. Somebody's going to feel great. Somebody's going to be upset with this one. These are the ones you always want to win. You're always going to get a third chance. That time she hits it out. It was not tipped. So
I'm worn out.
Yeah.
I need a rest.
Daleville with a nice point there. That was a big one because that really pushed it out a little further for Wes-Del.
Now what you hate to see happen, service error when you're the coach. You just go, wait, we just worked all that.
Daleville able to get 2 points here in a row and get this game back to 8-6.
It's like you consolidate that long rally. It's just putting the stamp on it. Oh.
Another point. It's a little early in the set to want to take that first time out. Jocelyn Brown, a sophomore, serving for Daleville, and she's actually served some really nice. Put the ball on them pretty quick, and it's been tough to handle. She goes short this time. Armstrong with the swing from the back row. Joy going to get another chance. A little farther back that time. I think she would probably like to have that one back.
Yep.
Maybe just roll that one over, but a little further back, I think, than she realized on that swing. Now all of a sudden it's a tie game. The old tie the shoe trick. Let's slow them down.
A little confusion there.
That one's hit to the back wall and out of bounds, so right back over to Wes-Del, and they're happy to get that service stopped. Joy Toney will step back for the Warriors and serve. Nice serve. Nice outside swing and good play by Joy Toney.
Uh-oh.
Over on two. And over on one.
Boy.
There we go, back and forth. That corner was almost open. Nice,
That was a great shot.
nice save by the Libero there. Just a little too close to the net there.
They got away with a little center line violation there
Yeah, I
during
thought
that
so
play.
too. I thought so too.
And that's okay.
Can't catch everything.
Nope.
It's first game for them too.
That's right. Now a little detail there, having that number 20 there, Ava Lamy come in behind the 10-foot line.
Down serve, you'll take that if you're Wes-Del. Keep that lead.
What you might not know is there was a rule change this year that allows teams to address 2 libros.
I did hear that. I don't understand it well enough to understand how that helps or changes things. I guess allows you to sub in different spots more, right?
The rationale is allows more players
Chances to play, right?
chances to play, but libro, DS, really, when you have 18 subs and a libro, if you run out of subs, you really need to look at your system.
Meantime, Layla Carmichael's rattled off a couple serves here and giving Wes-Del a 12-9 lead.
She's pounding that ball.
Back row swing from Daleville on that one. Wasn't able to get in there.
Jocelyn Brown, just a sophomore, but she took a pretty good cut at that ball.
She looks like she's got a chance to be from watching her just a little bit here in this first set, she's got the chance to be a pretty good player.
I think so.
Gets another, goes right back there, gets another chance.
I tell you, they just need to make a few swing adjustments because they're getting good swings. Layla just shooting rockets over there, but they're passing them.
So early in this one, Daleville takes a timeout, 14-9. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back with you on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Back here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Carmichael Daleville took a timeout there, tried to stop the bleeding a little bit and maybe get Layla, but she goes right back after it, gets that serve in like a good player does. Nice block in the middle there. And that's off the tip. That's going to be point and a kill for Antrim on the outside.
Those are 2 good swings right in a row with Savannah Durr and Aubrey Antrim. Aubrey, one of the returners that, we talked about how much Daleville lost through graduation. And while we lost some significant seniors and different parts of the game, none of them were almost entirely the game like some of these players were for Daleville.
Yeah. Yes, and
so when we look at our statistics, we'd see that Aubrey Antrim, Joy Tony, Layla Carmichael were leaders or near leaders in nearly every category.
Well, one of the things I like that you mentioned earlier is the numbers that we have, because anytime you have competition in practices, that's what makes your team better. You have to fight for those positions and keep grinding every day at practice. There's another nice swing, and that finds the floor and answer right from the middle spot.
Our best practices were when we'd have maybe, we could play a 9 or 10 player rotation in a varsity match. So when you've got 6 on one side of the court, 4 of those players are on the other side. And then you've got your best JV players up there, and it really does create an environment and excitement in practice.
Back to the first rotation here for Wes-Del. That's pushed out a little bit, so.
I'll tell you, I've seen a lot of improvement from last year, this year in Savannah Durr's arm swing as well. She's getting something on that ball.
I like the fact that I think we're the more aggressive team, and I like that. I like the fact that we're not playing scared or tentative at all. You always give yourself a chance when you're more aggressive.
You like your team when they go out to beat a team, not just play them.
Back and forth there a little bit, and Antrim will get to push it right back to the side and off the tip, and Wes-Del gets another point, pushing this out to an 8-point lead here early. You got to feel good about that.
I'll tell you, junior, number 1 on the Daleville side, Sophia Nichols, she's getting a workout tonight and doing pretty well. She's coming out of that right back, left back spot, especially left back. She's really working it.
Letty Robinson, another sophomore for Daleville, will go back and serve. Maybe going to be out. Probably a good chance it was, but these are just split decisions you got to make.
And this is where the Warriors really have to push. They need to get to 20 before Daleville gets to 15. It puts out there a real, the gap seems bigger than maybe even what it is. Push some sets out, maybe a little too far sometimes. Aubrey hits that outside the antenna.
There'll be a little short break here. Clean up a little sweat on the floor where somebody had to dive.
You're always really one of those professional basketball mop things, Let somebody run out there and
Daleville able to get 3 in a row here. Wes-Del would love to get this point. That's out. So happens just that way for Wes-Del, and they'll get the serve back with a 19-13 lead, and Aubrey Antrim back to serve. Serve to the back row, Daleville over on 3. Joy from the middle with a nice swing.
You just knew from her approach she was gonna get an arm through that ball.
I would have to. I don't know if Coach Bamby was watching at home, but I know she has one of the higher verticals in our school. I don't want to say boys and girls. I don't want to just say of the girls. I think she has one of the highest verticals or higher verticals of the whole.
Well, I have always thought, and I think I've probably mentioned it before, and you would know better than I. With the subject matter you coach, I think she's one of the best athletes in the school.
Oh, for sure. Yes. Yeah, I would say so. She could probably pick a sport and work on it for a couple weeks and be able to go out and play.
And she was a gym rat growing up with
her
older sister, Hope, always in the gym.
Always in the way is what I told her. When she was little, she was always running around. And but you're right. She always had a volleyball in her hand. She was always running around, and of course she plays on the basketball team too, and softball and track and a little bit of everything.
If it's a sport, she's ready to go.
Another nice swing and nice dig.
Really nice dig there.
Point here in the net. It's too bad because that was a nice play both ways. You hate to see it ruined in the net, but well, they didn't. And that's going to be just what Wes-Del wanted.
That gift might have been just at the right time.
Yes. Van Ver back to serve. Coming from the other side this time. Oh, tries to walk it down the line and didn't make it.
Both teams playing a variation of a very similar offense. Daleville running a 4-2 as opposed to the 6-2 that Wes-Del's running. The main difference is your setter in the front row or the back row. And Daleville runs their setter out of the front row, and we run our setters out of the back row. The significant difference there is how many hitters you have. We always have 3.
You must have been looking at me like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. You were right. Now I know.
I don't know.
That's a good point for Wes-Del because I was afraid that Olivia Proctor was going to rattle off a few.
Yeah.
Being a senior, to rattle off a few and give us young and learning how to win still, like Wes-Del is. Like you said, you want to keep momentum going in your direction.
That's right.
Because they can swing in volleyball like we talked about that a number of times. Back to Joy. Just a little short that time. I feel like this is an important point for Wes-Del.
Yeah, you do. You really do. And, you know, when you're sitting in the 20s, a 3-point lead is significant.
That helps.
That's probably what, their fourth or fifth service error.
Yes, it is. Joy Tony back to serve. Coach Stanley would be happy if she just served two real nice ones in a row. She starts it off that way. Daleville keeps it alive. Cora with another chance in the middle. Over on three. Over on two that time.
This is going to be tricky. Nice.
That brings up set point for Wes-Del. 24-19 lead, and Joy Tony, just the person we'd like to have back there serving.
Yes.
Nice and aggressive serve, and that'll do it with an ace. So Wes-Del takes the first set, 25-19, and that's a great way to start, especially if you're Coach Stanley with a team that you know, and Daleville is going to come over and give you a great effort. And I felt like Wes-Del really was in charge of that set. Now we know that it's just one set, but I felt like Wes-Del really played like they wanted to be the aggressor in that whole set.
I agree. And the one thing that you tell your team in between games or in between sets is, look, we may not get those gifts in the second set. We can't count on service errors at the right time. So now, as aggressive as we play, we've got to maintain that, even increase it, and really get out there and continue to control this match.
I think one of the things too that watching us play that set, I thought we did a nice job of just sometimes keeping the ball alive. I feel like there are times, and I've watched this before, you feel like you have to win that point. Like we didn't trust that we could keep a rally going on enough. We were going to be the one to make the mistake. But sometimes just keep the ball alive, keep it going, and that way you can, give yourself a chance to, I guess, fight another day, but make them make a mistake, but put it back on them and just keep it alive.
Exactly, and don't count on them to make a mistake, but get out of their way if they're going to. Just let them. It's always interesting between sets too. Now you got Daleville over here doing a lot of dancing, and a little bit over with Wes-Del, but you've got Ariana there doing some instructing. You've got Kayla talking to the team seated there. I always liked my team loose, but again, I wanted it to be all business too.
Yeah, you did a nice job of allowing. I used to obviously watch you for a lot of years here. You let the players run their huddles, especially good teams. You would let your players run the huddles a lot.
Yeah. I always enjoyed that. It was like watching kids grow up.
It's funny sometimes, coaching a different sport, but our timeouts are a lot shorter. Timeouts aren't, but in between, I would sometimes in timeouts just ask them what they thought. What do you see? What do you want to run? What do you like here? And get some feedback there. We didn't always do it, but I'd sometimes see what their feedback was.
One of my favorite things to ask my team was always, what did we learn?
Yeah.
What can you tell me right now? Well, we need to do this better. They're doing this and that. And when they'd come back with that kind of feedback, I knew they were paying attention. And I can't remember ever asking that question and not getting a good answer, which was good, which you like.
And I know that you felt this way too as a coach. I always liked when I had bench players that were speaking up, because then everybody's involved and you got the right mentality on the bench. Well, the first set went our way. Let's see, it's a long ways to go. You got to win 3 to win the game, and the first one's always nice, especially when it's on your court and you're the aggressive team. I would imagine if you're Daleville, you're probably talking about, hey, let's clean up some of those our own mistakes.
Right.
Let's put ourselves in situations to keep the ball alive and just get it over on serve. But if you're Wes-Del, you want more of the same.
I remember times like this when I was an assistant coach at Muncie Central, and legendary coach Dave Shondell, who of course now is at Purdue, used to say something real simple. He'd look at the team and say, "You haven't done anything yet."
That's right. Yeah.
Another good rally.
Found the line. That was a nice play. Both teams played well on that one.
Yeah.
And if you're not, the height that Daleville has is sitting on the bench. So if you're Daleville, you probably ought to learn how to be a scrappy, defensive-minded team. Let's keep balls alive. Let's do just what they did right there.
And it's like you were talking about, keep it alive, be as aggressive as you can, let the other team make mistakes.
Right. That's one that Daleville, you probably were talking about. That's an unearned. Let's get that in that back corner.
Yeah.
Easier said than done, but get that in that back corner and give ourselves a chance.
I'll tell you, sometimes when a girl gets underneath the ball like that, doesn't have it out in front of her, they have a hard time really pulling back on that swing and rolling it more and, getting it in. It's a tough adjustment for some, but they have to do it.
Serve now. Aubrey Antrim back to serve. It's one of those unforced errors that as coaches you just try to eliminate those as much as possible. It's part of the game. That's why they stat it. But,
Sure.
But
you hate to see him give back that point right away. Ooh.
So, unlike the first set, Daleville comes out with the early lead, 4-2. So we'll take that from the setter.
And you can see there's a little bit of question there because that was a back row setter that just went up. Oh, there's the call.
There's the call on the switch, yeah. No argument from Coach Stanley because you caught that. I wouldn't have, but you caught that.
So if she contacts the ball and sends it across the net, if she contacts it while it's entirely above the net and she's in front of the 10-foot line, that's an illegal attack. That is a back row attack. Oh!
Pushed right to the back row, and so here's Daleville off to a little start and playing a little scrappier this time. Of course, Wes-Del is giving them a few points on unforced errors, but nice swing. There's a good block in the middle from Joy. Still alive, and Gabby's going to get a chance from the outside with that left hand. Daleville playing scrappy though.
They are.
Again, just get it over. Yeah, just get it over if you're Daleville right there.
And I'll tell you, Gabby swings with the left hand over there on the left side, and it's a real adjustment to try to block that. And most of the time, you've really got to pull that block into the court, in towards the middle. And a lot of teams don't do that. So she's going to hit. I mean, she's not hitting a line shot, so you got to bring that block away in, and until they make that adjustment, she's going to continue to do that. And then you've got your left back player who's got to stay on that sideline, and few have the discipline to do that. Can be a real advantage.
Unforced error there by Daleville. And it's allowing Wes-Del to fight their way right back into this at 5-6. Van Der back to serve. That one's going to be out. A little aggressive. So side out, back over to Daleville with another unforced error. Bring Olivia Bracker back. One of the seniors on the team to serve. She got off to a good start last time. Not the way you teach serving right there with a little pause right in the middle of that, but being a senior, she's able to. She's laughing about it now. In the net call on Wes-Del there.
Just pass just a little tight. Now, if your setter's 6 feet tall, that's a perfect pass.
That's in. That's the right call. Daleville playing a little more aggressive. And kudos to Olivia Bracker for getting nice serves in. That puts you on your heels. And a little bit more manageable. And the net again.
It was a tough first smaller setter.
That's tough. So Daleville with a 5-point lead, 10-5. There's that left side swing, and that's nice from that left side. Just went out of bounds from Gabby Ricker. And the timeout early in this set. Stick with you on this one. I'll give a shout out. I know my daughter is in Bluffton at Bluffton University watching with her roommate here.
Bluffton, Ohio. Right?
Bluffton, Ohio, yes. Just tucked in nicely between Lima and Findlay. If you don't know where, you probably know where those two towns are.
Now, how much of the summer did she spend over there working out with the team?
She was able to go over a few times and play. They did some open gyms in the summer, and then, of course, they've already started. Some of the schools haven't, but they've been practicing for I think a week now, maybe, or over a week, and getting back in the swing of it. As she reminded me that 3.5-hour practices are tiring.
Yeah.
So. Classes just started this week, so back to school, back to class, and so she was reading some poetry last night because she's an English major, and I said that's a little boring. So, but I do have an English major sitting next to me who's now elbowing me, but she's enjoying it, so he would probably appreciate the stuff she was doing. A good timeout because it goes right out of bounds. I know that. How many times have you seen that over the years?
Yeah.
All that timeout.
And that had a little bit of hope on it because it dropped pretty quick.
Side out desperately needed from Wes-Del after that timeout. Wesley Durr goes short. Nice save. We're going to push that over to the back row. Still alive. That's in. Backside.
That painted the back of the line, I think.
It did. Got a couple like those, but that's the difference between momentum sometimes, just finding that back. They've done that twice in this set alone. Maybe they weren't going their way the first set, but they are now. Joy's going to send it over. A good set. Nice swing, and that's in. So, a little miscommunication there on Wes-Del's part. Coach Stanley's trying to organize the defense a little bit different. 13-6. Daleville with a similar lead to what Wes-Del had the first time, and this one can't get over.
It's those contacts off the net that are troubling Joy a little bit tonight. Sometimes you try to finesse it a little bit too much.
Wes-Del needs a point. Something go their way here. Nice swing, and that one's out, not tipped. So that would be a point for Wes-Del, and they needed that one. And that'll take Joy Tony back with a 7-point deficit.
The Daleville swings have definitely improved this set. The aggression, the location. They've had a spurt or two where they put them into the net, but they recover from them pretty quickly.
Playing defense here for a second. Coach Stanley make a substitution and put Valerie Clark in the back. And Cora goes across her body there to put that one down the line.
There we go. Valerie, one of the 2 seniors on this team.
To 8, Daleville with the lead. That's going to try to fight their way back into this one. The Carmichael back to serve. Presley out to answer them. They're just a little bit off this set. Everybody's just, boy, we played so well that first set. Now it just feels a little off. And sometimes I always felt like, man, we had a great first half in basketball. The worst thing that can happen to us right now is halftime.
Yes.
Sometimes that first set, you came out, played well. Now all of a sudden, things just aren't going your way. But you got to find a way to dig in. That'll help right there.
There we
Nice
go.
swing.
And that's fun. Aubrey with the pass, Aubrey with the kill. Complete.
And Natalie Linder back in to serve in the back.
Serve and set. Yeah, director back in the front row. A deceptive lefty.
Valerie over on 3. Here comes Daleville on the attack. Nice scrappy play. Daleville, you want to go quick here before they reset.
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened. Not quite as quick as probably Daleville would have wanted to, but they were able to get what they wanted accomplished and got that point.
And there was still a little bit of confusion over on the Wes-Del side of the net. And a little confusion leads to miscommunication, leads to good play.
The serves right now from Daleville are kind of like ours were in the first set. Now they're being more aggressive, really putting the, here comes another timeout, they're really putting us on the defense by nice, strong, aggressive serves.
Tough second set for the Warriors.
It's a second timeout for Wes-Del, but you can't take them with you, so you might as well here before it gets too far away.
Exactly.
We will not be with you next week because I think everything's on the road from what it sounds like. Our executive producer right next to me, Mr. Romine, and stellar English teacher, or at least English teacher, is checking the schedule, but I believe that the next home game will be here against Wapahana.
And the next match, I think we turn right around tomorrow. And are we at the historic North Walnut Street Fieldhouse tomorrow night?
Next Thursday? Next Thursday, we'll be here, the 27th. Sorry. Thought we were off a week, but we'll be here next week with you on Thursday. Where else will we be? Over on 3. After the timeout, Wes-Del would love to get this point. Always want to win the point coming out of the timeout.
Yep.
Win the timeout, yes.
Exactly. Daleville's really picked it up this set.
They're getting, just a little more aggressive. They're not swinging that much harder. They're just getting balls in play, too.
Yeah.
There's a miscommunication. Back to the front row comes Joy. Good little break there. Aubrey Antrim back to serve. Nice serve. Maybe a 2 back in the day, but not anymore.
Back in the day. Yeah, the only time you're really going to see that called is if it goes over the net now. Again, the philosophy is the double contact doesn't give you an advantage.
Yeah, they're just playing scrappy enough now to keep balls alive. Van Der's going to get a chance, and that will help.
Well, even then, Daleville got a hand on that, and they've got to be encouraged by that, but still, glad we got that point.
It's definitely not over, but you got to make a run.
Yeah.
You feel like you can't give points away when Daleville's on 18. Like you said earlier, Daleville wants to get to 20 as quick as they can. And that's in the net, so that'll be another point. Daleville has yet to call a timeout this. I would say another point. You might see one.
It may be coming. Well, she gave a glance at the R2, Heidi Knuckles, but 1 or 2 more points, and she'll pull that trigger.
That might be it right here. Let's see.
Coach Gail Hicks, she
We'll give them one more.
trying to get the measure of her team.
Aubrey's done a nice job of really putting them on their heels with these serves, and there's another really nice one. That one will be off the backboard, or will it? It is. And so that keeps Daleville back in it for this point. Wes-Del needs this point. Momentum feels like it's going their direction. Wes-Del with the attack. Here comes Gabby on the outside. Just not able to get that one over. And Daleville needed that point because things were not going their direction.
That's the tricky part. Wes-Del's got to turn right around and get this point.
Yes.
It's a must-have. Really nice pass.
And just behind the antenna, luckily.
Yeah, they let the lift go. But it kind of got caught up in their hands.
And this finds the floor, and that's the first to 20. That's something that you guys as coaches talk about, first 15, first to 20. Is that something that is like a practice, or is that more of a game thing, or just, I feel like you say that a lot. So
Yeah, and it really can come down to statistics too. Statistics will, show that the first team to reach certain points in the match will have a higher statistical opportunity to win the game, or will win more games. 20 is definitely one of those points, and then there's that psychological part of it. While they're already to 20 and they only need to get to 25.
swing from the back, nice dig, kept alive. And that one finds the floor, so the scrappiness from Daleville.
Wow.
They were so excited they knocked each other over, and now they're laughing about it. It's kind of when they made the run with this rotation last time. Let's see if Wes-Del can steal a point here. Running out of points if you're Wes-Del. I don't know how that one got over, but he did.
Sort of a backhand there.
23-14, and that's this one's getting away from Wes-Del.
Again, the challenge of the lefty on the left side, you got to push that ball all the way out. The same way you do a right-hander over here on the right side.
In the net. Yeah.
Center line.
Center line, okay.
Yeah. I think R2 indicated number 5, but it was really number 4.
What's the whole foot have to be over? Is that the rule? Or
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Well, she could slide and it would be too far, but.
Yes, it was the whole foot across the line. Wow.
Set point here for Daleville. Pushed outside, and there's a nice swing, and that's out. So, for Wes-Del, you probably aren't going to win this set, but it'd be really nice to win 3 or 4 points to get the momentum going back your way.
If you can outscore them, say 4-1 here, you feel pretty good going into the third set.
Presley Gurr back to serve. To the back row. An outside chance for Joy. She finds the floor right between 3 defenders.
And I'm not sure who was in the net, but I don't think we're the only ones that aren't sure.
It looked like it. Presley with another serve.
Oh, nice.
Goes short that time, and that's going to be a point. Well, there's 2 of those points we talked about.
Yep.
Still trying to get that last point, win set number 2. Wes-Del wants to make them work for it. Tape saved that one because that was going to be a swing. Enjoy. Score with a chance. Back over. Delville's going to get another shot from the outside. Roll that one over. Another long rally here. Win this point, Wes-Del. I can make them work for it.
Oh, nice. Nice there.
There it is. And so again, make them work for it. There's 3. We said you'd have to win 4 or 5 points. There's 3 of them right there.
There you go.
Wesley Gurr again. Well, going to be out, and so that will finish the second set. That second set goes to Wes-Del. I'm sorry, to Daleville. Wes-Del takes the first one, so now it's 1-1. Going into set number 3. It's a tale of 2. Almost like 2 different games so far,
It's
Coach.
anybody's match. It really is. It's going to be who limits those errors. I thought we made a lot more mental mistakes that set. Not as many necessarily service errors. Daleville definitely didn't make as many. But Daleville just looked to be the aggressive team. They looked to be the team in control. The same way we did in the first set. First match of the year. Not unusual.
Right, yeah. And you kind of wondered if that was going to be Daleville's best effort in that first set. You feel like it probably wasn't going to be. Like you could tell they were playing a little tentative.
Yeah.
And it just kind of flipped right there. So now if you're Wes-Del, you just got to kind of get that spark back a little bit. Give some of that aggressiveness back. Take away just what we just talked about with Daleville. Take away some of the unforced errors. They're not giving you points now. So you're going to have to earn them. You're going to have to keep the balls alive and go after the balls and be a little more aggressive. And there were several that we had some service errors in the net under the center line, but just points that we kind of gave away that set.
Sure, and a lot of it because of inconsistency. At this point, you're saying, well, the real team, please stand up. and you think you might know because you've been practicing for weeks now, but you might not know. You just don't know.
Well, we'll head to set 3. Before we do that, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you it was very good to have you back after a little scare. You took a little bit unplanned vacation this summer. You had one planned, and you got to take another one to those are the people that don't know. We won't go into, I don't know how much in depth you want to go into it, but you got to spend some time with your heart doctor this summer.
With my favorite surgeon. Yeah, I was going to go fishing, but instead decided to have a triple bypass surgery.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything where I had a heart attack,
right?
Anything like that. It was just, hey, let's take a look at the heart. Oh, we've got some clogs. Let's go ahead and fix that. And I'll tell you, from the first moment in the cardiologist's office going, hey, let's do this test, to leaving the hospital, after surgery, the nurses and staff that was there while I was in cardiac intensive care, just top notch. I couldn't say enough nice things about the way I was handled in the staff, by the staff. And I'm not a big fan of chest tubes and intubation when you're awake and things like that. But I was probably reminded of some of those matches that I was coaching. This is kind of how I felt sometimes. I can't breathe, my chest hurts, and I wish I could just go to sleep. But overall, a pretty good experience. It's going to be, I'm still recovering and doing rehab, but I appreciate the kind words.
Well,
everybody here at Wes-Del has just been very accommodating.
It's we were glad to hear that everything went okay. Mr. Romine and I were worried about you. We weren't sure that you'd be up here for this first game, and he didn't want to do it with just me. I know that. So we're happy that everything's going well. Like you said, it's still a process. It's not, you're doing some rehab, but you're moving in the right direction. You look great, sound great. So let's keep everything going. Let's see if Wes-Del can find a way to be the aggressor again this set.
I did at a couple of moments think, what if I was still coaching? I wouldn't be able to toss a volleyball, let alone hit one. And even at this point right now, they wouldn't allow me to do that. So, good effort there by Joy Tony. You're never going to lack effort when it comes to Joy.
As we mentioned before, 1-1 now. So this is an MEC matchup. Both teams love to go 1-0 in the conference to start. It's out. Just out.
I tell you, we wanted to get through that. Letty Robinson, who was serving back there, has this nice little hop, skip, jump serve. And it's a very effective serve.
Aubrey Antrim back to serve. Floats this one over.
It's going to be a tough play right there. Yeah, that is.
Just not able to get enough on it with Gabby. So it's back and forth here to start, 2-2. Courtney Artiritano back to serve.
Easy for you to say.
Sorry if I didn't say that right. So you Daleville people. The point, even though it landed in bounds, that one, guess they're going over the net.
I'd have to see the replay on that. It looked like she blocked it outside the antenna, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But I don't really know. It's hard. We have a great vantage point, but on this near antenna, we can't see those things.
Landed in.
Ryan New over there with the big call.
Wes-Del would love to take advantage of this set and give it the early lead, and they're out to a 5-2 lead with an ace from Savannah Durr.
I'll tell you, this third set, the winner of the third set just has such an advantage. It sounds obvious, but an advantage in every way, momentum-wise, of course, score-wise. This is how you like to see a team start out. And here comes that early timeout.
Early timeout. We'll take a short timeout here on the Wes-Del Sports Network and be right back with you. Back here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. See if that timeout will work for Wes-Del or work for Daleville here. Joy Tony with a nice swing. Kept alive. Gonna have to go over, and they do. Well, with the middle swing. Back and forth here a little bit. Rear set from the middle.
I was thinking the same thing. And she almost had a grin on her face like, hey, that wasn't bad. And it wasn't. Oh, nice set by Natalie there.
Nice block on Daleville. Both teams playing this point well. Again, another nice block. And that one just finds the floor.
Got it around the block. I'm not sure what the question is here. Meanwhile, we'll do a little mop up on the floor.
Yeah.
Aubrey down there. So Aubrey had said something to Heidi Knuckles about she was signaling a touch, but I'm not sure what the question is here. This is where we need to have our coaches mic'd up.
I don't think that would work for me.
It depends on whether the executive producer controls the on-off.
The beep button?
Yeah.
We're going to need a delay for sure.
That worked out well. That's like a timeout.
Yeah. You look up there and you see that Wes-Del has a 4-point lead. It doesn't feel like it's been that way, but you'll take it. And see if you can just keep building on that if you're Wes-Del. Wesley Gurr back to serve.
I like that they've gone somewhat to a short serve. It can really, even if a team is passing it, it can still really disrupt your offense. And there you see our offense disrupted.
Yeah, it could. We had a timeout, even though we called it in play. I do believe we have the chat up, right? If you want to join us in the chat, you can. If you're out there watching, you want to join us, feel free to. I'd like to hear from you. Tell us where you're watching from.
And we have Jocelyn Moser back out there on the left side. Have we seen her out here much tonight?
No, I think this might be the first. We saw her play some JV, but this is the first varsity action she's getting, and she's just a sophomore.
You know, and we're 2-0 on that towel timeout.
8-4, Wes-Del lead with Joy Tony back to serve. Aggressive serve.
It was really great play there. Not that time.
Wanted to let it go. I think it still would have been in, but.
And so there's that no man's land
Yes.
where you can't use your forearms, you can't use your hands. It's coming right at your neck.
I like the way Wes-Del's come out in this.
I really do
set.
too.
Joy with a nice serve just out of bounds there. A little side spin on that, just a little bit too much.
Yeah, a little missed contact there.
Go back to Valerie Clark in the back and give Joy a little bit of a break.
That's right. She rallied him in the last set at the right time. So let's see if Val can bring a little bit more of that Clark magic.
Stays alive just enough to find the floor, and Daleville trying to fight their way back into this at 9-6.
And they're just about there. We need to put the stop to it.
Yeah, we need to do this.
Here we go.
That'll help.
I'm glad I mentioned it.
Carmichael back to serve. Played just a little short. It's kind of like you said, it gets above your shoulders. That's hard to handle right there. You almost have to bend your knees and get under it a little bit more.
Exactly. And a player, they extend their arms too far out and they kind of lock that out. There's no give to the ball.
Nowhere for the ball to go.
Yeah. For those of you listening, I'm demonstrating that right now.
But be careful now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's part of your rehab.
It's not. Oh, watch that repetitive arm movement.
Blocked.
Oh.
Wes-Del keeping it alive. It's a little bit different. Set backwards there.
And that fools your own team as much as it does the other one when you do that, you jump up, and all of a sudden you push the ball behind you, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
we weren't ready for that.
What are you doing?
Worked out okay for him that time.
Early in the year, but I've seen a lot of alumni here tonight.
Did you just see Amelia?
I did see her walk across.
Yeah.
Always good to see the alumni come back.
Yeah. Of course, we saw Layla Carmichael's aunt, Chloe Bell now, I believe. She got married within the last couple of weeks.
Over your state teams.
Yep, big part of that 2014 team.
That's out of bounds, so Daleville right back in this at 10-9. Jim Love over there, I see. I saw a few others, I think, on this side that we can't see as easily, but
Chloe now the keeper of dogs.
Yes, right.
I don't know if we can give unpaid advertising shout-outs to businesses like Dogs Country Boarding.
Well, for alumni, you can.
That's right.
Daleville right back in it now, tied it back up at 10-10.
That's right.
And just what we talked about earlier in last set, a few mistakes by Wes-Del, kind of being their own worst enemy here. Lost a little of the aggressiveness. Of course, they don't have Joy out there. They're bringing those hard swings from the outside, so you're going to have to find it somewhere else, and maybe it's Antrim right there.
She got up there pretty good.
Nice swing. Real good. Playing scrappy here, and the momentum has definitely switched back over to Daleville's side, and they take the lead.
I tell you, it's a push fest and a tip fest out there. Just putting the ball to a location rather than just pounding it. And it's a set three. There's some tentative play going on. It's a little bit early for that, but you can see it.
Another talk over here with the up official. I think you were talking about center line, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're questioning, okay, what exactly is a violation, it looks like. And are they,
I think the call where Coach Stanley was upset about was when, who was it? It was number 4. Proctor fell and had her leg under there enough that maybe she thought it was a violation early in that rally.
that was close to a football.
No, I thought the same thing. She gets every post.
But close is not a violation.
That was going to be out, but he kept it alive. Wes-Del can make that pay. No, they can't. Just not a great pass there. As we've talked about many times, the rally on your side starts with a great pass.
Yes.
If you don't get a block, you better get a good pass.
Yes.
That's too long. Don't see that called very often.
No, you don't. In fact, I can't remember the last time I saw a time violation.
I don't think Coach can either.
No. You know, now you have the clock in baseball.
Yeah.
In tennis, professional tennis, you have a clock now.
Nice.
What is that big angle? Oh.
You know what my rant's going to be. I don't know. I read this every year. I think it's because I watch so much college volleyball now. But we're only getting the 3-ball. Let's get the 3-ball rotation.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you want to speed the game up, get 2 of those kids out of the stands and have them.
I'll tell you what, and we used to do that at Muncie Central back in the 90s.
Yeah.
But even more recently, Jean Kesterson, the legendary coach at Indianapolis Cathedral, she's been a big proponent of that, has actually run sessions on that at the annual coaches clinic.
Yeah.
And you know, get your middle school kids in there, teach them how to do it. Burris was doing it for quite some time, but it's sometimes hard to find kids that are going to do that consistently and be able to get there consistently. But it's a great system. Then you have to train your players not to go chasing balls all around the court.
Yeah.
But you look at any state final and you're going to find it. That serve went through the net.
I thought so too. That's just out of bounds. So here comes Wes-Del.
That's right.
Fought their way back and take the lead right back here, 14-13 in this crucial set number 3. Both teams have won a set, so it's 1-1.
Didn't make it through. And I like seeing, in this example, Layla Carmichael, but I've seen it throughout. You know, a player makes a mistake, somebody else goes to kind of rally them to build them back up.
Talking to you a little bit, yeah. Back low, and that's going to be just out. I was hoping that Rivera would try to go after that one. He had done the one before, he kind of helped us out, but not this time. That stays alive. That's under the net.
An almost unusual number of center line violation calls.
I was thinking
tonight.
that too, but maybe it's because it's the first game.
That's what I'm thinking. You know, they're getting after it. Both teams are.
Also depends on who's officiating sometimes.
It does.
That one finds the middle of the donut, as we say.
Yeah.
Daleville fights back and gets the 1-point lead. We're back and forth here. Wes-Del got out to an early lead in this one, and then Daleville, to their credit, fought their way back, and now it's been back and forth. Wes-Del will take that one as an unfair fair. Practice done a nice job of serving tonight.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Both teams very aggressive from 30 feet off the net.
And right back to you, says Wes-Del.
And even short serves can be aggressive serves, and that was an aggressive short serve. Unfortunately, over-aggressive short serves are usually too short.
Side swing coming out, tipped over. Antrim from the back row, off the tape. Push to the back by Wes-Del. Outside swing. If Joy can get a good swing on this one, she does. Yeah, could have been two.
It could have been.
Nice swing from Cora. That was an important one there. We needed that one.
And they are fired up. I like seeing that. That's the race
They had Cora in class, which I have, and I don't know if you guys have. She's easy to root for. She's a very nice kid.
Yeah. I have several of these sophomore volleyball players in a media class, and I think we might be able to look forward to a podcast sometime this season with volleyball players.
Sweet. Daleville's great. They come right back with a nice swing from the outside and find the corner.
It was a good swing inside the block. And both teams are getting real fired up after winning points, so it is fun to watch.
Tough one.
You know, one of those things, we talk about things that grind our gears as coaches. that set from almost waist level by Presley, even though she's going down low, there was a day when that automatically would have been called a lift.
Yes.
Erroneously, in my opinion. No spin on the ball, no hesitation, no prolonged contact. Used to just annoy the heck out of me. Nice there.
That's out. No block, so that'll be a point for Daleville. Like we said, this one's just back and forth. Sophia Nichols will go back, come in, and then go back to serve.
Another strong server for the Broncos.
Antrim swings and Finds the tape, and the tape helps her out.
She looked relieved. And I can understand that.
19-19. Let's see if this first 20 will go in our favor. Shot from Daleville. It's going to find the net. That's almost able to come over, but not quite. Daleville gets there, but it's close enough. I don't know that it matters a whole lot in this one. The way it's been back and forth. Let's hope it does.
You know, we talked earlier about just how much Daleville lost to graduation. I think if there were too many questions about their passing, I think their passing has been pretty good tonight.
Yeah, and especially these second and third set.
Yeah.
Looks like they had to get the jitters out in that first set. Wes-Del played better too, and that's a service error that came just the right time for Wes-Del.
That was the rare 2-point lead, you know, for either team. And here's where you got to push.
Back to serve, and that one finds the net. And they're all big points when you're in the 20s here, but
they are.
But this one feels like this is a real important one.
For me, was always where I wanted to be. 23.
Wes-Del to find a way to win this point.
Ooh, there's a joy.
And hits the floor. And that'll give Daleville a 3-point lead. I think we have one timeout left, but we'll keep it right here. Keep it going. That'll help.
That's key. 23-20 is a tough road for the team with 20. Let's see what the Warriors can do. They've got one of them back.
Anna has served well. So she floats over. That's going to find that back corner. Now it's set point in the third set for Daleville. One of their better servers in Olivia Proctor.
Would have been the net last time, but
he did last time,
I don't think we can count on it.
Played up, back row swing, and that would have been out, but thankfully touched with your Wes-Del fan. And some subs here, and Presley Burr is going to see what she can do.
And Daleville takes the timeout.
Looks like maybe getting some cramps. And, early in the season, stretching that leg out is a Olivia Proctor. That's her. Yeah, bananas and football juice and then they were starting to fall. I don't know, maybe that was true. You got 3 guys up here from Michael County. Probably know a lot of wives' tales and things that were supposed to work. Probably know many of them are true.
We just drank pickle juice for the fun of it.
Yeah. So timeout. Go ahead.
I didn't drink pickle juice for the fun of it. I did it one time when I was working in the restaurant business, and I found out the effect that it had on me.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do that anymore.
Now, I'm not a pickle person, so I wouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah. Sweet pickles. I like a good sweet gherkin. Of course, he doesn't.
24-22.
Let's see if they thoroughly iced Presley. I doubt it. Good serve.
Gets it nice. Serve. Gets it in. Daleville keeps it. Joy's going to get a big swing from the outside. Ooh, nice dig.
Yes.
Yeah. That's going to be a point. So Daleville takes set number 3 to take a 2-1 lead in the best of 5 with a 25-22 win in set number 3. We'll take a short break. Come right back with you here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. back here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Heading into that fourth set here. Daleville with a 2-1 lead. Wes-Del won the first set, 25-19. Daleville came back and won the second set, 18-25. In the back and forth set here in set 3, Daleville takes 25-22. Of course, this is an MEC matchup, and so this will count towards the standings in the MEC first conference game. The other thing is it's probably one of who knows how many times they'll actually play each other this year, because Wes-Del Daleville will end up matching up at some point probably. Well, we know probably at some point they'll match up either in county again or in sectional. You're bound to play each other a number of times.
I'll tell you, there were times where we played Cowan at least 3 times during a season, because we'd play them at Blue River, at the Class A Showdown. We'd play them in the season. We'd play them at county.
It's always nice to play those rival teams, and then sometimes it's just like when you play somebody different. But it gets to,
that's right,
depending on the year too, depending on what they're like, what we're like. But this one's been a good one so far.
And I'll tell you, if we're going to play 4 sets, we might as well play 5.
That's right.
Too many fingers in the net.
Daleville gets the first point with the set.
Ooh, nice short serve.
The second one, kind of miscommunication there.
That's when I always wanted to look at a player and go, you're not that tall. you just can't push that straight across.
Just get it over.
They just didn't quite have the reach for that. And by the way, the 4th episode of Jack Reacher.
Yeah, you know, that's one that I want to start, and I have not ever started it, but I keep thinking, but you know, I think I probably really enjoy this, and I have never started it.
So you haven't started the series at all?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm one of those, I mean, if any of my buddies would listen, they would beat me up on here, because I've not watched any of the Ted Lassos. I've not watched any of Jack Reacher. I've not watched any of, there's a couple of them. Now, I am on nice point there from Savander. I am almost done with season 3 of Tires. If you watched that one.
Of what?
Tires.
Tires.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that.
Yeah. Yes, you should be.
Where do you stand on Landman?
Not seen it, but I think my wife's seen it.
How about Yellowstone?
I have not seen it. You're gonna, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. But I'll go home tonight and watch Big Brother religiously for 25 seasons.
Yes, absolutely. And I haven't seen them all, but I've seen the last many.
Yeah, I've seen them all from season 1. Back to volleyball here, because nobody cares what I'm watching.
Well, I'm kind of concerned, though. So.
I know, actually. 4-1, Daleville out here to an early lead. That'll help to get the point back over to Wes-Del.
I'll tell you, this can get out of hand real quick if we get too big of a gap here in these points.
That's not, but Joey's going to get a nice swing on it. Kept alive by Daleville.
You get that ball to her nice and high, you're going to get a rip.
Gabby's going to get a swing. Just couldn't get her body turned around, and that's one of those on that outside of the lefty. That's a tough set to get it over there.
It is.
She couldn't really do anything with it.
Yeah, especially when you're used to a right-hander over there. And, of course, nothing to diminish her at all. It's just it would be the same thing giving it to a right-hander on the right side.
Yes.
It's all about angles. And they ask, when am I going to use this math and why?
That's right.
Geometry.
Gabby does a nice job of keeping that one alive, though, on the service off of the net. And was able to come back over to Wes-Del. Outside. got to go get another shot. He's not able to go over, so Daleville with a 6-3 lead. That's in. It's on.
Hope is not a strategy. Of course, we're looking at the backs of the heads of everybody down there at the scores table, but Brian Lake, who retired but never seemed to leave the building, voice of Warrior Volleyball, voice of Warrior Football.
Yeah, he's back. He can't. He's like a bad penny. You can't get rid of that caramel voice.
Maybe voice of Warrior Basketball. I don't know. I have officially retired
I heard
from
that
slot.
And I would say that's a big loss for us because no one did it quite like you did.
Well, I appreciate it. Time to give somebody else a chance to play loud music and yell into a microphone, which is what I basically did and enjoyed every bit of it.
8-4 here with the service coming back to Wes-Del. They need to rattle off a few more points here. Thought that one hit, but
I thought so too.
worked out in our favor anyway. And the service error goes to. Back to Daleville will get the ball with a 9-5 lead.
They traded back and forth. And if you love football and you've always dreamed of being a Monday Night Football guy, in the booth, call 1-800-eSports and get Andrew Romine because we're looking for some booth personnel, I believe.
Yeah, our first game's this week. We'll talk about that here in a second after this point. But
yeah, we'll put you to work real quick.
That one falls in for Daleville.
About as good as you're going to tip the ball right there.
Yeah, that was a perfect placement. You couldn't have put that in a dart anybody, as they say. Yeah, the first home football game this week you'll be able to catch on the Wes-Del Sports Network as Tri-Central comes to Wes-Del. Played by Daleville, and that one finds the floor again. So Daleville takes an 11-6 lead.
And they've got the momentum. Warriors need to bring that back real quick.
They need to get the side out here and give a couple points to go your way. A nice serve there.
It was.
From Daleville.
You put that line drive between two players because that's what you like. You like to serve those gaps. Get them thinking.
Mila Early, just a freshman, back serving. Just a bit outside. Side out back to Wes-Del. Carmichael's going to see if she can get a rally going here for Wes-Del. And she gets started. You start a rally with one, and she does. Service error will give it back to Daleville in a 13-8 lead.
The encouraging part when you see mistakes, I think, like we've seen tonight by the Warriors, is they're all fixable.
Right.
It's just a matter of getting in practice and addressing them.
A lot of it's routine.
Yeah.
That's out, and they're calling the tip. It'll be Wes-Del, and they needed that one.
Yeah, they did. And I don't see any argument by anybody, so Sometimes you have that mystery touch at some point in the match. Not there.
Yeah, Leelander back to serve for Wes-Del. Needing to get on a little roll here. That's just what Daleville wanted to stop that right away. Take that service back over to their side with a 14-9 lead. Larry Robinson, a sophomore, back to serve. I feel like we're saying a lot of freshmen and sophomores over there for Daleville.
Yeah, they've got plenty. These groups are going to be playing each other for a while.
Yes, it does look that way. Just staying out of the net. And tipped out of bounds. It was open.
It was.
Just off the line. 15-9. Right idea. Just wasn't able to find that line. Backside. Daleville keeps it alive. Here comes Wes-Del on the attack. They're going three.
Uh-oh. Here comes a quick timeout.
Coach Stanley didn't like that miscommunication. She's going to call a quick timeout. We'll take a quick timeout here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Back, Wes-Del Sports Network. Daleville trying to finish this out in 4. Wes-Del takes the timeout. Coach Stanley wants to regroup and talk again about some miscommunication, it looked like. 16-9, and that's just finds the line. Makes it 17-9. That was close. Quite gotten to the what do they call it in tennis when they check the line to see if the ball's in or out there.
Oh yeah. And you know they've gone to computers in most major tennis tournaments now to where they don't even have line judges.
And I know in college volleyball you can challenge it.
Yes.
A lot of pressure on executive producer Mr. Rowan up here.
That's right.
Doing that. He's up for the challenge, he said.
You know, you're at a point now, if you're an optimist, and I usually am, you go, okay, if we outscore them 3-1 the rest of this match, we can get this set. So there's one right there. You know?
Right, yeah.
You just got to keep going 3-1.
I believe it was 18-10 in one of the previous sets that we fought all the way back. Didn't win it, but we got ourselves right back in it. It starts with each point. Now it matters. You're going to have to, not that they don't, but they really do now. You're running out of points.
Yes.
And that was a nice swing.
There's the one.
To 11. Big swing just comes up a little short that time.
That was a good swing. I wonder if that net's a little too high.
Felt that way a lot of times when I was coaching. Like, I'm sure that basketball rim's the right height. I don't know.
All the way down.
They sure were making a lot more shots than we are. Always didn't seem to work because then we'd switch at halftime. We'd still miss it.
20-11. It's a tough ask to come back, but it's not impossible for sure.
You've been around long enough watching that volleyball that you've seen that happen before.
I've been on both ends of that, and I'll tell you what. Both it's nerve wracking both ways. because you're just sure that it's going to end when you're trying to come back. It's, oh God, this is going to be over. And then all of a sudden, I think we were down 23-16 in Delta one year. Ended up winning the first set, but as you're coming back, you're going at their place. You know, with the big crowd, you're going, there's no way. This is not going to happen. And you talk yourself out of it every time. And then it just keeps happening. And then too many times you've been on the other side of that. And it's 23-16. How can they lose this set?
Momentum for sure. I've never seen it like it is in volleyball.
Oh, it's
watching that volleyball. I've never seen a sport momentum swing as much as it was in volleyball. Daleville on the attack. Wes-Del used their second and last time out, so they're going to have to play it out at this point. Really not a lot to talk about anymore. You have to just get some points, play scrappy, and every point matters. Probably could have been something.
You're talking about the shot by Natalie? Or after that?
No, Daleville. Right?
Okay, yeah. Oh.
Daleville gets the point.
You see, Natalie was close to a back row, the back row attack, but it wasn't. And a lot of people think, well, she never left her feet. Well, she didn't have to. It's all about contact.
21-11, 10-point deficit for Wes-Del. Again, Daleville up 2-1. That'll help.
And you hope when you're behind like this, you hope the other team, they give away some points going, oh, we're way ahead, it's going to be okay.
Right.
You hope.
We got a timeout here.
What's he doing here?
I don't know if we have someone that's making noise in the crowd that needs to be addressed, or
It's usually what it's something like that when the principal gets called in, right? But seems like it has either gotten taken care of or it's about to.
yeah. Talk to Daleville's administration, so something they need addressed. I don't know what it is, but doesn't affect us. I know that.
No.
Just keep calling the game up here. I think it was Mr. Romine. In the meantime, here comes Wes-Del with a couple of runs, and just like that, they give him the net, unfortunately, and give the point back to Daleville. So 22-13. Somehow got over on the opposite side of the goes by that. Shows their athleticism right there. Come outside with a hard swing, and she gets a good set like that, and then it's over.
That might be the best play we run all night.
Yes, I agree.
From pass to set to swing and approach.
And Joy's back. Trying to get us right back into this if you can with some serves. That's going to be off the backboard, which is playable for those of you that wondered.
That's right. A nice play by Presley trying to keep that ball on this side of the net.
Nice dump over there on two, caught us off guard, and that puts Daleville 2 points away from the match. 23-14. That's in again.
Ryan New on the line again has gotten an opportunity to make some close calls tonight. Hawkeye, that's what we're trying to think of. Hawkeye.
Yes.
With the tennis.
So now it's match point, and they can't give any more away, and have to do it. Daleville finds a way to win. They win the match by winning the fourth set, 25-14. Let's take a short break here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. We'll come back and wrap this game up with you. We're back here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Wes-Del falls to Daleville, 3 games to 1. Wes-Del took the first set, 25-19. From the second set, 18-25. And honestly, the second set really probably wasn't that close. We were able to pull off some points there. Now the third set was a back-and-forth battle. 25-22, Daleville was able to pull that one out. And then they were able to kind of manage this last one, Daleville did, at 25-14. Some good things and some things to work on at practice for both teams, I'm sure, but your Wes-Del coach, what are some things that you can take away, and what are some things maybe you want to look at?
You know, when you fill up a notepad during the first match of the year with the things you go, okay, let's do this drill in practice, let's do that drill in practice, and let's work on that. And I think with our crew, you know, they kept working hard. It was just mistake prone after that first set when we relied on Daleville to make more mistakes than we did. I thought we stayed aggressive to a certain extent, but communication, play at the net, maybe some setting choices and options, just what to do without assistant balls. I think that you know, there's a lot to look at, and Coach Stanley will look at all that. She's very experienced on the court as a player, on the court as a coach, on the sideline as a coach, I should say, and she's got a solid staff there. So I'm sure her notebook is filled with, here's what we need to do. Unfortunately, we got to turn right back around and play tomorrow night.
That's what I was going to say. No rest for the weary. You turn right around, go to Muncie Central tomorrow. So not a long drive, but it is going to be a, you know, you're stepping up a few classes, and you know, early in the season again, you kind of really don't know what to expect when you go over to Central, but you do know that there's a good chance that you're going to see Delaware County volleyball. So you never know, and you better be ready to play. So you know, it's kind of like you said. Right now, you got to kind of take care of your own things. You can't really worry so much about the other team. Take care of what you can take care of, and take care of our own mistakes and problems.
Yeah, and I think they still play in the field house. I hope so. And what a great place to play. And again,
yes.
I was there for 8 years. Love the field house as long as it's not a hot day in the summertime. And they may have taken care of those smells, but what a really great place to play. It's wide open. Depth perception can be challenging at first, but it's a great place to watch volleyball too. So hopefully, you know, we can get a lot of people down there to watch too.
Yeah, if you don't have anything to do, head on over to the field house. It's a nice, easy drive over there. Stop downtown, get yourself something to eat, and then go to the game. But if you can't, you can join us here on Friday to watch our Wes-Del Warrior football team and Coach Knuckles take the team. A lot of positives coming out of the football program, and a lot of excitement for this year's team. So jump on there and watch us on play Tri-Central at home, or come out and watch on the Wes-Del Sports Network. Until then, we'll be back with you next Thursday, it sounds like. I had that off a little bit. We'll be back here for Wapahani, another MEC matchup, and we'll be happy to be here and bring that game to you. So for executive producer, Mr. Romine, Hall of Fame coach Biff Wilson, and myself, we're happy that you were able to join us tonight. Join us next time on the Wes-Del Sports Network.